Hello, my wonderful Virgos. Welcome or welcome back to Vovo Drag Tarot. Wait, did I say Virgos or did I say Vovos? I think I said Virgos. Welcome or welcome back to Vovo Drag Tarot. I'm Joni Vovo, a drag performer based in Sydney's Inner West in Sydney, Australia. And this is a general reading for the Virgo collective. So Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising. This reading's for you. And also, since it's a general reading, not all the messages may apply. So just take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else watching on from the Virgo collective. I also do personal readings. If you'd like to book one, have a look at the description box below and follow the link through to my website. If you'd like to support me, the best way you can do that is hit like, hit subscribe, or leave a comment. Let me know where in the world are you viewing from. I'd love to hear where you're watching from. Otherwise, let's jump in. Also, I should say, I say this every Virgo reading, I am a Virgo. So I'm always interested to see what comes out in these readings. To be honest, I generally find it hard to read for myself. Don't know why, just the energies get a bit fuzzy and it gets a bit complicated. I find reading for others so much easier. So when I do a Virgo reading for y'all, it's very clear, but also sometimes very, very poignant for me too. So we'll see what comes out. That was a long preamble, sorry. Let's just jump in. Let's just do it, okay? You ready? You ready? Okay. Right, so I think you're being a little bit picky and a little bit fussy at the moment. There might be different paths ahead of you, different opportunities available to you, and maybe you're a bit indecisive, like, I don't know, none of them seem really that exciting or like something I want to put my time and energy to. I just don't know, really. So it's probably, yeah, maybe you don't have a lot of direction at the moment, and maybe there's a bit of stagnation, and or maybe as well you're just being discerning because perhaps it could go a few different ways. Perhaps you know exactly what you want and you're like, no, no, no. Or maybe, and this one's probably more true for me, maybe you have no idea what you want. And it's like when you look at all the options available to you, you're like, okay. Oh, so maybe that's also why you're a bit like, because I guess if you look behind you and what's happened in the past, maybe there's been a lot of situations that maybe didn't quite turn out how you thought they would, where you've perhaps been wanting and chasing a sense of stability, abundance, belonging, home, connection, security, family, and it kind of just hasn't happened. And because it hasn't happened, now when you look at what's ahead of you, you're like, oh, I don't know. If I choose that, it's probably just going to have the same outcome. If I choose that, it's probably just going to be dead end as well. So I don't know. I just don't know. Okay. So it seems that so I guess if you look back at the past and all the things that haven't quite worked out, you've probably learnt a great deal about yourself. And maybe that's like these different experiences you've had have revealed different parts of yourself that maybe you didn't know were there. Maybe there were certain things that had to be unlearnt, certain stories, certain narratives, certain beliefs. Maybe there were parts of you that were a bit wounded and needed a bit of healing. So I think you've done that. You've had maybe done a lot of personal growth, a lot of healing, a lot of getting to know yourself. And you probably very much know who you are now. And those parts of you that might be a little, let's just say, dark, or that you might have previously been afraid of or not able to look at, you're like, yeah, that's me, that's fine, I know those parts of myself, we're friends, it's cool, it's cute. So it seems that even though you're dubious about what's ahead of you or what's in front of you, you at least know who you are, and I would dare say you at least know what you want. So yeah, so no wonder you're being picky. You're like, well, no, that doesn't suit me. That doesn't suit me. It's like, no, that doesn't align with my values. No, that's not going to lead to where, that's not going to lead to an outcome that I, want. So maybe it's a good thing that you're being picky and discerning at the moment. If things don't align, they just don't align. And I guess that's okay. Let's keep reading. Let's get a bit more context. Okay, so I guess along with this lack of forward movement and just the general metness of everything, yeah, you've taken time out. I mean, like I said here, you've found yourself. You've discovered yourself, and that probably came through being in this situation of like, well, I look back and I'm like, I look forward, I'm like, so it, I guess, put you in a position where you had the chance and opportunity to go within and do a lot of this self-discovery and self-work. Now, this is coming upside down, which means that it can mean a few things. It can possibly mean you've dwelt there for too long. It's like, you went there, you did the work, now it's time to come out. Stop being a hermit. It's time to re-emerge. Potentially you've gotten so used to just being in timeout, like life's timeout, life's waiting room, and perhaps they're calling your number, and you've just, you're just zoned out, flicking through magazines, and they're calling your number, and you just... So, anyway, maybe it's time to re-emerge. And yeah, you're tired and you're debating. It's like, is it worth enduring? Faced a lot of things behind us, or behind you, behind me. I'm getting confused here. There's many things behind you faced, and it's been a hard slog. And you're like, do I have it in me to keep going? So I suppose that's the decision you have to make. It's like, well, all right, I'll rally myself one more time and try and find my damn 10 of cups. Rather than just being like, meh, couldn't find the 10 of cups. Oh, well, so sad, too bad. And you're also tired, so tired of having to defend your position. You know who you are, you know what you value, you know what you believe, you know what you think's important, you know what you think is true. And see, that's really hard, because if you're in alignment with all those things and then you face the world and opportunities and it doesn't turn out to go to plan, you're like, well, what's the point of me having these values and knowing myself if I apply it into a context, it's just not going to work out. And so you're probably tired of doing that. It's like, I don't have the fight in me. Like, whatever. I'll just be in my little hermit bubble. If I stay in my hermit bubble, then my values and vision and self-belief and who I think I am and what's important, that's all great because it's self-contained. But then as soon as we go take it out into the world, it's like, oh, here we go again. Having to fight the world. Having to do all these uphill battles, and to what end? Yeah. Anyway, so I can laugh about all this now because Oh no, I'm not going to get personal. I'll just leave it there. I can laugh at this. No, life's absurd. Life's absurd. Anyway, let's look at some advice about this situation. Well, just to go back, so the challenge here was the Hermit upside down. So the challenge is to re-emerge from Hermit mode and go back into the world somehow. Let's find out. So I think this is just the card of discernment. So, and I think it kind of just goes back to this, right? But rather than being cynical and being, it's about being discerning and being like, okay, this is the situation. This is what I'm prepared to invest. If I use my wisdom, intellect, understanding, and discernment, if I invest here, is it going to have the outcome that I want? So I think through all of these wonderful, I say that with sarcasm, wonderful life experiences, as well as becoming very familiar with yourself and comfortable with yourself, you've also learnt the great skill of discernment about where and how you invest your energy, and is it in alignment with your values, and is it worth your time? And if it's not, it's not. Oh dear. Let's keep going. Oh, so the context here is that I think it's just going to take work. It's about bravely, boldly, confidently going in and being like, right, I've used my discernment. I am going to invest here. Let's do it. And it's about having, well, it's a few things. It's about actually being invested. Like back here, it's so much disinvestment. It's like, pull my energy back. I don't care. Whereas here, it's like, okay, right. I am going to invest time, energy, effort, and I'm also going to be invested for the outcome. Yeah, it's a hard balance. Like this hard balance of being hands off and also invested. It's like, I don't have control over the outcome, but I'm still going to put my efforts in and hope for a good outcome. Which is hard. It's hard, particularly if you're already exhausted and burnt out and thinking, whatever, I don't have it in me. To be like, okay, no, all right, the past is the past, the future's the future. I am going to be here and invest. I'm going to hope for the best outcome and not assume the worst outcome, but also I will hold it loosely, knowing hold it loosely, knowing that the outcome isn't fully in my hands, but I'm going to still invest and work towards it with the hope that it'll turn out for the best. Does that make sense? Okay, hopes and fears. I wonder what this will be. Yeah, exactly what I said. Hopes and fears, disappointment. It's like, all right, going to invest, going to work hard and be committed to whatever it is. Oh, look, I'm disappointed again. Well, like I said, we can't control the outcome. We can only control the discernment of where and how we put our energy in. And we can control our response to things. Like, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. To use the phrase that I both love and hate, it is what it is. But to be able to say that in a peaceful way where you're not completely detached, that it's all meaningless, but you're not, over-invested, that everything is just painful and devastating. What a hard balance. All right. Okay, so the potential outcome is it's the hope that new things will come in, and that the past is the past, but it doesn't define the future. That, yeah, just exactly that. Having the hope and openness to receive what's ahead without the past distorting or tainting or poisoning the potential of the future, which is really hard. But yeah, anyway, that was a pretty good reading. Like, some other Virgo readings I've done have hit me really heavily. That one, I'm okay with that one. That actually makes me feel kind of hopeful. I don't know. How do you find it? Let me know. How does this apply to your situation? Would love to hear. Just whack a comment below. Please, if you care to share, go for it. Otherwise, hit like, hit subscribe. Sorry, I just have to do a final plug of myself. Otherwise, my loves, I'll see you next time. Bye.